everyone, this is Eugene Roddenberry.
Dr. Mohammed Noor.
Adam Nimoy, Leonard Nimoy's son.
This is Leonard Crowfoot.
This is Dr. Aaron McDonald, Star Trek Science Advisor and Lieutenant Commander McDonald on Star Trek Prodigy.
And you're listening to
Humanist Trek.
Humanist Trek.
You're listening to Humanist Trek.
the Humanist Trek Podcast.
And you're listening to Humanist Trek, a fabulous, fabulous show.
Enjoy.
And don't worry, you can do your Temporal Mechanics 101 homework later.
I love this so much. She sits down with Geordi. They have some prune juice. And she shits.
Oh my God.
Perhaps I could use this as an excuse to go to those far-off planets with little polka-dotted people if necessary, and be able to talk about love, war, nature, God, sex, all those things that go to make up the excitement of the human condition.
This is Captain Jean-Luc Picard.
Welcome aboard.
Jean-Luc Picard to the Starship Enterprise.
You want to review your rapid progress?
That nonsense is centuries behind us. To the Starship Enterprise.
Oh, yeah?
That is enough, damn it!
Tempo, mon capitan.
To the Starship Enterprise.
You can't deny that you're still a dangerous, savage child race.
Of the planet Earth.
You just don't get it, do you, Jean-Luc? That is the exploration that awaits you. Not mapping stars and studying nebula, but charting the unknown possibilities of existence.
Nuchnech. And welcome to Humanist Trek. It's a comedy Star Trek podcast about the humanism in Star Trek. I'm Sarah Ray.
And I'm Allie Ashmead.
And we're here to laugh. We're here to have a good time. But also, Star Trek is just always so timely and poignant. And here we find ourselves again in yet another war in the Middle East to distract from some dumb shit the president has done.
Yeah.
Namely the Epstein files. Let's start a new war in Iran so that maybe you'll forget about all that. And so we're not going to talk about that terribly long, but it is interesting that these things are cyclical. And wouldn't it be interesting if this timeline that we're in now was the alternate one and all we needed to do was go back through a time rift?
Yep.
And wars would be over and we would be back to a normal good times.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, what would the event be that would have to change? Because like every single thing that happens can lead to different paths of, the future. And so I'm wondering what is the defining moment that does it? Was it the first time he became president, or was it the second time? I mean, like what?
Oh, if we could only go back and hit emergency stop on that golden escalator.
Yeah.
Stop our descent into chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been trying to distract myself from everything that's going on. So
yes,
at the time of recording, this is
what's happening.
War has broken out. But also at the time of recording, my friends have returned from the Star Trek cruise.
Yes.
And
without
me, they went and came back without me, and I was definitely.
Now I know what that feels like.
Oh, sorry. Well, I mean, this is the second year I didn't go, so yeah, and it's I know how exhausting it is. Like it is exhausting. So that's the one thing that kind of makes me like I don't think I can do it every year. I can't. It's too exhausting. And plus I want to go other places in the world. I want to travel. Yeah. And this takes so much time and money, and it's just exhausting. So I'm thinking about signing up for next year. But it's just gonna be like, and then maybe I'll skip the following year, and then but I have to plan so that I have time between to rest. Because getting ready for any event like this, you gotta like plan the costumes and packing.
Oh yeah.
You gotta fly, and then there's a hotel that you get to before you get on the boat, and then there's transportation to the boat, all the logistics to and from, and it's expensive and time consuming, and then of course you've got to have your costumes for 7 days. And then just the interaction with people and constantly, and then not partying every single night. Because even though I say I need some sleep, who's going to be on the dance floor? Me. I was enjoying so many photos, and it just looked like such a good time. And but I also know how exhausting it is. So the FOMO wasn't like as intense as it could have been, because I already know how exhausting it is.
Yeah. Well, one of these days, once we get this house off our back and get our shit fixed, that's on the list. We're going to do that at least once. And I got to tell you a funny story.
Uh-oh.
Completely unrelated. I think we have Becca hooked now. I think she's becoming a Trekkie.
Oh, it's because of Star Trek Academy?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. So we have been watching that together. Of course, it's different in tone from recent new Star Treks, but she's getting into this one. And she was telling me yesterday that she had like a full-on conversation with a workmate about Academy. And I'm like, you're one of us. One of us. One of us.
It's happened. Yep.
Yeah. Dude, I'm loving Star Trek Academy.
Yeah.
Loving it. It's so good.
So I watched the first 3. I'm still behind. I like to binge them. So I might do that today. Just to binge the other ones that I'm behind on. But yeah, so, and maybe you want to mention our Humanist Trek happy hour.
It happened already by the time you've heard this.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Duh.
It was great. Thanks for everybody who came.
It was amazing. Thanks to everyone who came. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be like you, me, and Bruce, because we didn't put it out there very soon before the date. So I'll be surprised if, a lot of people show up. But yeah, it'll be fun. I mean, it was fun.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was probably me
great
and
time. Yeah,
and maybe Sarah,
maybe Sarah, yeah,
Sarah
and maybe Chris. It was a great time. Thanks for everybody. Join our Patreon, everybody. We're gonna start doing these happy hour things at least monthly. We'll do it once a month to get going, and just time to get together, and we can talk about the new Academy series. So you do have to get caught up.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. I got to get it caught up because I have some stuff to say, and I'm like, fuck, I can't say it. I can't say it.
Well, into the rift we go, and hopefully that will put the fucking timeline back together, and the orange dingo will go back to just being a scammy real estate owner, and life will go on.
And somehow he'll get arrested for child pornography and land in jail long before, he becomes president. So if that's the way the timeline should go.
And maybe then while in custody, he'll commit suicide like that other guy did. If you know what I mean. Anyway, get in the starship, bitches. We're going Star Trekking.
Get in, losers.
Get in, losers. We're going Star Trek, and it's Star Trek The Next Generation, Season 3, Episode 15, Yesterday's Enterprise.
Commander, you'll soon be getting an intruder alert.
What? Got something, sir.
Intruder alert, sir.
It's an old-style starship, sir. Constellation class, heading this way under impulse comm.
Number 1, kindly take charge of our guests until we have time to decide what we're going to do with them. Sir? Number 1, keep them out of my way.
Okay. I thought I remembered a lot about this episode going in, but I did not. I did not remember that this is where we establish prune juice as the Warriors drink. I didn't remember that.
Nope. and I thought that this was the episode where Tasha had the S curl, and that was a different time. Wrong episode. I was
wrong, Tasha.
Completely wrong.
Yeah, but that must have been when she comes back as Sayla, as the Romulan, whatever. Yeah. Damn it.
I think I remember seeing this a long time ago. However, I watched it again several weeks ago, and I could not understand. I'm like, I don't get it. So I had to watch it like 2 more times before I'm like, oh, I get it. I didn't know what the fuck was happening. But
wow.
I know. I'm just a time travel.
How
shit.
elevated were you? Oh yeah, timey-wimey shit does that.
Timey-wimey stuff messes me up.
Yeah. What I think is interesting about this episode is the things that I misremembered, as we clearly got the Starfleet Academy Cadet Challenge wrong. I was talking about all kinds of shit about Riker's in the captain's chair and all this nonsense.
And here I am agreeing with you because I couldn't remember.
This is what happens for all of the hate that I give to the 10 episode movie that's divided into pieces and cliffhangers at every end. This is what happens when you have 30 episodes in a season, and like you retread a lot of the same ground. A lot of episodes are similar. It's easy to like forget them entirely and get them confused with each other.
Yeah.
That's the downside to having these monster seasons that we used to get.
Yeah. But if we had 28 episodes. I take it.
Yeah. So Worf is in 10 forward drinking alone, and Guinan brings him something new to try, prune juice, and he just fucking loves this.
His eyes light up and everything. I mean, and it's not a bad drink. I would drink it if I didn't shit myself. Like I would drink it like iced tea or something, because it's actually delicious.
Yeah, I mean, coffee makes you shit yourself too, and I drink lots of that.
Not like prune juice though, but yeah.
There's another bit in this too. Like, so later, I think we establish more about his growing up on Earth. Wouldn't he have had prune juice in the Rozhenko household? Wouldn't that have been something he tried as a kid?
Maybe not, because prune juice is typically for older people. You know what I mean? It's like a thing, a trope that only old people drink prune juice because they can't poop. I don't know.
Well, this episode has taken a wrong turn. Let's turn the car back around.
Okay.
Guinan also tries to do her Guinan shtick on Worf about how you are always in here drinking alone. Why don't you make some friends? Why don't you try to find some, companionship? And Worf's like, I would need a Klingon woman for companionship. I would break a human female in half.
Guinan disagrees. She's like, not all of them. Because she says, there's some women on this ship that would find you tame.
He just laughs and says, impossible. And then she calls him a coward. And he's just like, I was just looking out for the safety of my crewmates. And she's like, drink your prune juice. So good. I love it.
I know. Great.
There's a moment here that I thought to myself, though, is Guinan trying to come on to Worf? Was Guinan saying, there's some women on this ship that, I'm just saying.
Was those women her? Was she talking about her? Who knows?
I don't know.
Who knows? Out the window, though, they see this swirly thing. It looks like another anus wormhole thing, space anus. It opens up out of the blue, and then immediately Riker calls Worf to the bridge. And he gets up and leaves, and then Guinan looks at the window and she says, no. As if to say, I know what this is, but it can't be. Like that kind of thing.
Yeah, here we are again. Just like with Q, Guinan seems to know a lot about a lot.
And, her origins remain a mystery.
Yeah. Up on the bridge, they start trying to figure this thing out. It's like a wormhole, but not. Like a time displacement, but not. There's no definable center or outer edge. It's like it's there, but not.
It's a space anus.
With the transparency set to about 50%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then suddenly a ship starts coming out of the anus, and our view of the bridge glitches.
Right.
And suddenly everything is different. The uniforms have a higher collar. They're wearing these the vest, when you wear the safety vest, it has those reflective strap parts. It looks like that is their belt. And I kind of want these belts. It has like the Delta logo thing on it. It was a badass belt.
Some of the security people are wearing the strap on the shoulder, which is called, I didn't know, a Sam Brown.
Oh,
it's called a Sam Brown. It was part of like military uniform back in the day, and it's attached to the belt.
Oh shit.
The lighting is darker. Wesley's now in a straight like Starfleet uniform instead of his normal like 70s, 80s sweater uniform.
Isn't he in the gray jumpsuit now with his bulging?
Oh God, Sarah. Yeah, I guess.
They gave him the tightest shit to wear. I'm just saying. And Tasha Yar is back at her post.
So
what?
Something's up.
And nobody seems to notice this. This is not a shock or surprise to anyone but the audience. Picard just asks Tasha if this is an enemy vessel, as if she never left the show.
Right. And she can't tell because she's getting too much interference. But then they swish over to 10 forward, and Guinan's also wearing a different color. She went from like a maroon tunic to blue. And suddenly everything is different in 10 forward. There's people moving around, and she's just like, what the? And there's announcements over the tannoy, and she says to herself, like, this isn't right. Something's changed.
In the announcements, and I don't know if you caught this.
Oh.
The announcements say, now hear this. Fleet formation briefing in main war room at 1500 hours. Dr. Joshua Campbell report to Cetacean Ops.
What is cetacean? What does that mean?
Cetacean Ops. This was a thread pull that Lower Decks did, where the beluga whales or dolphins or whatever the fuck they were.
Oh.
Cetacean Ops was like in Star Trek TNG that Lower Decks pulled the thread from.
Nice. Oh, I love this fucking universe. I love the Star Trek universe. Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, Guinan's like, this ain't right. Something's changed. So she notices. Nobody else seems to notice that everything's different, but Guinan notices.
And again, we kind of allude to there's something about her species like that we don't know, and they're just super powerful.
Back on the bridge, Tasha gets the registry signal of this banged up ship, NCC-1701-C, USS Enterprise. Dun, dun, dun. Have you listened to that episode yet? Is it out yet? I can't remember if that's out yet. I overused the shit out of that clip.
Good. No, I haven't listened to it, but that's what I wanted you to do.
That was such a great idea that you had. Yes.
Like annoy the shit out of everyone. And because like people know how we are. If they listen to us, they know how we are. We're stupid.
Oh, it was so good. So funny.
I'll listen to it after this.
You see? It's an earth drink. Prune juice.
Warrior's drink.
Picard's log is now the military log, and in it he calls the Enterprise a battleship. So things have definitely changed, including a lot of the furniture on the bridge. There are like side stations now, and there are no side chairs next to the captain's chair.
Riker ain't got nowhere to sit.
Yeah, he's back at what was tactical on the backside of the horseshoe.
Yeah, he's standing next to Tasha and just leaning because he ain't got nothing to do up there.
Speaking of the captain's chair, I fucked up big time this week on the Academy Challenge. I was clearly mixing up my episodes.
Yeah.
Picard's definitely in the chair. It wasn't somebody else.
Yeah.
And it is definitely higher. And now I think, and this is, what's it called? Memory Alpha appears to confirm that this was a visual change indicating a change from the sort of egalitarian command structure that we're used to, where Picard is flanked on even levels by the, his command staff, and we make decisions together, to I'm the captain, bitch. You do what I tell you.
This is war. Yeah, that kind of thing. But Memory Alpha could be like, it's made it's not made by like official, not necessarily Star Trek people. It's just people that do research and then put their own opinions in. So
yeah, who knows? That's why I don't read Memory Alpha for every episode. There are podcasts who do, who like read all the entries from Memory Alpha as if it's, that's part of their episode. But I don't. No, I mean like read it on the air.
Oh, no. I read it for the who's in it, like the actors and stuff.
Yep.
And then like the continuity part, like, and then the reviews and stuff, but things that are concrete. But I don't read it anymore.
Anyway, Wesley says this ship was believed to be destroyed with all hands over 20 years ago, and Data adds that it was last seen near a Klingon outpost, and yet here it is now.
It was exactly 22 years ago, 3 months and 4 days, near the Narendra 3 outpost.
Put a pin in that.
Yeah.
Data believes it's possible that this phenomena could be a rift in time, and if so, it's unstable and could collapse at any moment. So Tasha scans the sea, and the prognosis isn't great. That ship is super fucked up, and there are life signs, but very sporadic. Definitely lots of casualties. Riker calls Crusher to get medical teams to the transporters, but Picard belays the order because if we're dealing with the ship out of time, we might butterfly affect all kinds of shit.
Yep. And then so Tasha plays the distress call, and we get a voice that says, "This is Captain Garrett of the Starship Enterprise, calling out to any Federation ship. They've been attacked by Romulan warships, and they require immediate assistance. They've lost warp drive, and life support's failing." And then Riker's like, "Wait, there's no record in our history of Romulans ever assaulting the sea." So Picard opens a hailing frequency and calls them back.
But he's very careful not to say that they are also the Enterprise. And he tells them to prepare to receive emergency teams. Then he tells Riker that they're going to go at this cautiously, one step at a time, and watch out for butterflies.
Wesley gets a message right then that there are Klingon battle cruisers heading towards that sector, so they got to be careful, and they go to yellow alert.
Captain, Klingon battlecruisers headed toward this sector.
Battle alert, Mr. Crusher.
Klingons. Klingon attack cruiser decloaking up the starboard bow.
Hello.
They are hailing us.
This is the Klingon vessel Matar.
In all my dealings with Klingons, including our Lieutenant Worf, the thought never occurred to me of Klingons laughing.
There is much about us you do not know.
Klingons do not express feeling the way you do.
Klingons do not faint. Klingons do not give in illness. It is inappropriate for a Klingon to receive family while on duty. Klingons appreciate strong women. Klingons do not pursue relationships. They conquer that which they desire. I am not concerned with pleasure, Commander. I am a warrior. I am a Klingon! If you doubt it, a demonstration can be arranged. Klingons do not allow themselves to be probed.
Over on the sea, shit is jacked.
Yeah.
People slumped over consoles in their chairs, fire, smoke. One dude's face is basically melted off. And I love that they're wearing the old school, like Monster Maroon TOS movie era uniforms.
Yeah.
This was great to see those again. I love that uniform. I want one.
So they're walking around, Crusher's examining people, and then they find a woman on the floor, and that Riker calls Captain Garrett and calls her name, and he introduces himself as William Riker and wants to know what the deal is, or, you know, the status of everyone else. Crusher reports that the rest of the bridge crew is pretty much dead, and that Garrett has a fracture and serious internal injuries, and that she's going to have to get them back to the Enterprise.
Fucking Beverly. Shut up, Beverly. She said, get them back to the Enterprise.
And
God
Garrett's
damn
like,
it.
wait, where?
Yeah.
We'll explain later.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But she's like, no, you're going to tell me fucking now. And then Riker has to fess up that we're from a Federation starship. We answered your distress call, and we need to get you to sickbay, period. And then she's like, fine.
So Beverly and Garrett beam directly to sickbay while Geordi heads to engineering to work on life support. And Tasha hears someone coughing nearby, and they pull a bunch of sheet metal off and discover Lieutenant Castillo, helmsman of the sea, played by Christopher McDonald, who had originally auditioned for the role of Riker, which I can't believe was not our question for this episode.
Wow. Yeah. That would have been cool.
Right? It would have been different. I don't know. I love Frakes.
I love Frakes. There's no way. Everybody is where they're supposed to be in this timeline. I mean,
right.
as far in meaning our timeline of Star Trek. Yeah.
He played Daryl in Thelma and Louise,
Mm-hmm.
and Shooter McGavin in Happy Gilmore.
Yes, Shooter. That's where I really remember him from.
Yeah.
But probably a bunch of other stuff because his face is so familiar.
Back on the D, Riker calls to check in. 125 survivors. They'll probably be able to handle the repairs, but they can't stay here for very long. Klingons are coming. So Picard gives them 9 hours. And after 9 hours, if the sea can travel on its own, they'll escort it back to a starbase. If not, they'll evacuate the survivors and blow up the damn ship.
No!
But just then, Guinan comes into the bridge, which she never does in any timeline, unless there's something wrong. And Picard is like, Guinan? And she says real seriously, you know, we need to talk. This is all wrong. It's not supposed to be this way.
Captain Garrett?
Yes.
I'm Commander William Riker. Our emergency teams are on board your ship. Doctor?
The rest of the bridge crew is dead. She has a bad fracture and serious internal injuries. I'm gonna have to get her back to the Enterprise. To where?
In the ready room, Guinan is like, look, none of this is right. You, the bridge, hell, there should be children on this ship. And Picard's
he's
like,
like,
children?
No, yeah.
You know I famously hate children. Besides, this is a warship. And Guinan's like, yeah, that ain't right either.
She's like, we're at peace. This is not a warship. That we're supposed to be at peace. And he's like, what you're suggesting? She's like, I'm not suggesting. I'm telling you, man, this is wrong. And you got to send that ship back.
Yeah, so we got to push this old ship from the past up to 88 miles an hour so it can go back to the past where it belongs. But all Picard has to go on are like what has to sound like the ravings of a mad bartender to him.
Yeah.
This has got to sound nuts.
But I love their relationship, and he trusts her when he would trust no one else. So he is considering it, you know?
In every alternate timeline.
Right.
They have this. Yeah.
That relationship does not falter ever. So in sickbay, Crusher's examining Captain Garrett and doing some other stuff, and Picard walks in and introduces himself, and Garrett's like, how's my ship? And then he kind of lists off the things that they're trying to do to fix it. Garrett wants to know where they came from. And Picard's like, no, where'd you come from? But no, he asked where the last thing that they remember. And Garrett and the Enterprise C was answering some sort of distress signal. And she's like, you must have heard it was from the Klingon outpost, Narendra 3. And then she's talking about, I've never seen anything like the sickbay. Where the fuck are we?
Yeah, your uniforms are different. What the hell?
This technology is like amazing, and he still doesn't want to. Crusher's trying to get her to like relax and be still, but Picard's gonna have to tell her, "You're on the Enterprise D. You've come 22 years into the future."
Okay, minor quibble. Have things really changed that much in 22 years? I think back to 2004. I guess things have changed quite a bit since
yes, it has.
Oh God, I'm old, Allie. I hate this.
Girl, I'm a lot older than you. So yeah, it has changed. But it's like when you're living in it,
it doesn't seem like it.
20 years doesn't seem like a long time, because like when you think of everything that's changed since 2004, music, phones, technology, everything, it's changed.
Yeah. God damn. I was just in my head. You're right. Like 20 years is nothing. But in my head, I was like, come on. It's not that different 20 years from now. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is. It could be. It could be.
They talk about whether or not to tell her crew when they are, because Picard warns that sending them back with knowledge about the future could really fuck up some butterflies. And she's like, go back? Are you out of your fucking mind? We were about to be destroyed. You're crazy. I'm not going back. She describes exchanging some fire with the Romulans, then a bright light, and then they showed up here in the future. They tried to respond to the Klingon distress call, but there were 4 Romulan warbirds, and they were just getting their asses handed to them. And Picard's like, well, history has no record of any battle with the Romulans. Too bad, too, because from this altered timeline perspective, a Federation ship coming to rescue a Klingon outpost might have prevented 20 years of war. So we've been at war with the Klingons this whole time.
Yeah. And that one little thing, that
one little butterfly.
That's the thing that was the game changer, is the fact that the Federation ship C left because they were sucked through a wormhole. And so then the Klingons never saw that they were trying to help.
Over on the sea, Castillo, who is now aware that he's in the future. So I guess we've told some of them.
I was going to say, they just fucking told everybody.
He's chatting with Tasha while they conduct repairs, and the gravity of his situation is starting to sink in. Tasha tells him that the future ain't all that bright because more than half of Starfleet has fallen to the Klingons.
That's crazy to me that the Klingons are going to win. Like, you know what I mean? If they were to go to battle, if the Federation were to go to battle, the Klingons would eventually win.
Give me a Star Trek series that is Klingon-centered. Now, whether it has to do with, like, imagine that this is the spawn point for that series where, let's say, the sea wasn't successful and the Klingons won the war and they're taking over the galaxy. And give me that series, like a Klingon-focused TV series. That would be interesting, whether you use this as a jumping off point or not.
Yeah.
I think it would be interesting to see something that's not Federation-centered. And I know that coming from me, that probably goes against everything you'd expect of like the humanistic blah, blah, blah of Star Trek or whatever. But I think it would be interesting.
I think it would be good to see, like, and I'm not talking like a whole series, but I'm talking like a mini series. Klingons, and then maybe Romulans, and then maybe Vulcans, and just
Andorians or whatever. Yeah.
Round out the entire Star Trek universe. We know they fit into the Star Trek universe, but I want to see like their history, but just a mini series, not an entire series.
Well, series nowadays are mini-series anyway, so
that's true. Like Picard, but I'm talking like Picard.
Yeah,
but it would be it'd be kind of cool to see the origins and the history of those. So much material.
There is, yeah, and so many directions you could go with it. Castillo says they were negotiating a peace treaty with the Klingons when he left, when they fell into this anus, but obviously things have changed.
I love that you call it an anus too.
This is how we do on the show. One person sets the standard and then we all have to adhere to it, like when we say heater all the time.
I know. I love it. I love that. Years later, we're still saying heater.
Fuck yeah. On the D, Data explains that if they send the C back through, it would emerge almost at the exact same instant that they left, right in the middle of getting their ass kicked by the ROMs. And Picard asks about the possibility that the sea survives that battle, and Data's like, none. Which I thought, this is an interesting writing choice, because normally Data would give us some Spockian 0.00236% or some bullshit.
Yeah.
But so either this was a sloppy line, or Data sees not one single fraction of a percent that this crew could survive.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
yikes.
Good point. So yeah, sending them back would be a death sentence.
I look at things, I look at people, and they just don't feel right.
What things? What people?
You. Your uniform, the bridge.
What else?
Families. There should be children on this ship.
What?
Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of Star Trek Adventures from Modiphius. Your mission: explore the universe, command your crew, and boldly go where no one has gone before. From official miniatures and dice sets to rulebooks, gaming tiles, and story guides, adventure is only a warp jump away. Visit humanisttrek.com/Modiphius or click the link on our website and use code TREK for 10% off.
Tasha's giving Castillo a tour of the D.
He wants to give her a tour of the D, if you know what I mean.
Oh my.
She's given all the history. Like she was the first Galaxy class warship built by the Federation. It's got 42 decks. It's capable of transporting over 6,000 troops. I didn't know that.
In this timeline, I mean, otherwise it'd be crew or families and whatever. Like
right. 6,000. He's asking, he's getting personal. How long have you been here? She's been there 4 years, straight out of the academy. So they're getting to know each other. as they're making their way to sickbay, basically, to see his captain.
And once they get to sickbay and report to Garrett on the repair progress, Tasha mentions that there are Klingons headed this way. And of course, Garrett basically jumps out of the bio bed, ready to get back to work. And Crusher's like, hey, sit back down. You're not done here. You need another 24 hours or so. But then she and Crusher have that classic argument about how doctors always overprotect their patients and captains always push themselves too hard.
Mm-hmm.
This is a very, tried to be a Kirk McCoy moment.
Mm-hmm.
But in the end, Garrett makes the case that she's needed now. In what looks like the old conference room, redressed as a war room with a standing table now instead of a sitting one. And everything's dark. The whole damn ship is so dark.
It's an interesting production choice, but it does paint the picture of war.
Yeah, very well.
Nobody has time to sit down.
Mm-hmm.
It's not an environment that's conducive of asking opinions and stuff. It's like the captain says one thing, we don't care about anybody else's opinions. The decisions have to be made immediate. And it's just a dark haze on everything. And then of course, war room versus, what was it called? Was it the ready room?
Observation Lounge.
Observation Lounge, yeah.
Guinan is again trying to convince Picard that this timeline is not right, and he's looking for something concrete, something more than the bartender's intuition. But Guinan doesn't have anything else. All she can really say is, look, we've known each other a long time, and you've never known me to be a crazy person and come onto the bridge at all, let alone come on with this kind of nonsense. Now, I done told you what you got to do. Now you just have to trust me and go do it.
And that's literally all it took, you know? And I
love it.
I freaking love it too. You know, that I want a relationship like that with someone that where like, I'm never going to steer you wrong. It sounds crazy, but you got to trust me. You know me,
Yeah.
I love it.
As Guinan returns to 10 Forward, she finds Tasha and Castillo flirting and talking about tactical enhancements that have been made in the past 20 years. And Guinan looks like she's seen a ghost.
Yeah.
I mean, technically she kind of has, but
yeah, but she can't hide it. She's looking at Tasha and like, as if there's something on, you know what I mean? She's got like, there's something really wrong. She's got that look on her face. And Tasha kind of picks up on it as they're about to order their TKLs, which we learn are standard rations. Tasha looks at her and like, she's like, why are you looking at me like this? Is there something wrong? And Guinan kind of brushes it off and she's like, what can I get for you? And that's when they order their TKLs, which we learn are standard rations because food replicators, they want to save power. So they just get like those MREs. Have you ever had an MRE?
Yeah.
They're disgusting.
Yes.
But yeah.
Apparently there is no known, like TKL doesn't stand for anything that is known, like it wasn't in the script or anything.
Interesting. Oh, TKL.
Yeah, what could it be? Tactical? I don't fucking know.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, Guinan walks away and Tasha's still struck by how she was looking at her. She's like, I've never seen anything bother that woman before, but she's looking at me like I had three heads. And then they continue their flirting, and Castillo has learned apparently more about tactical with her in the last hour than he's ever learned at the academy. Wow, Tasha's amazing anyway.
Eventually, the senior officers get called to the ready room, so they have to leave before they get their rations served. But on the way out the door, Guinan and Tasha have another awkward glance across the room. Picard is hosting a briefing in the ready room, and here's another major difference between our timelines. Picard usually gathers input from his team and then makes a decision. This Picard has made the decision, and we have all gathered here to be told what that decision is and set that course into action. Geordi tries to suggest giving the sea modern-day tech, but of course, butterflies and whatnot, we can't do that. Riker thinks sending the sea back to die would be altering the timeline. Their timeline. Who's to say that their timeline's the right one and ours isn't?
Because Guinan says so. Guinan's the one to say it. And we believe Guinan.
But Picard believes they would be restoring the timeline, and of course, all we have to go on is Guinan's intuition. But Data suggests that Guinan's species may somehow be like outside of time or something, like maybe she wasn't changed the way they all were.
Mm-hmm.
But if they succeed, they'll never know. Things will just change again, and they'll have no idea. Anyway, decision made. Get out.
No.
Dismissed.
Yeah. Riker's like, but wait. He's like, no, I think I'm aware of your opinion, but I'm not seeking your consent. So yeah, get out.
Yeah. That was it was such a well written and executed meeting that really shows the difference between like what we're used to and what this military life it would be like.
Yep.
Yeah.
Excellent writing.
Riker thinks this would send the crew of the sea to a meaningless death, but Data points out that the Klingons have an honor culture, so if these people die fighting for the survival of the Klingons, they would regard that as an act of honor. And Picard adds that sending the sea back might be what prevents this war with the Klingons from happening altogether. So Data and Tasha get into the elevator, and her mind is clearly drifting elsewhere, and she admits to Data that she's worried about her new friend, Castillo. Data tells her, well, if we succeed, they'll not even realize that any of these events have occurred.
Yeah. And she's like, I really like him. Oh. Oh, golly gee. So they're back on the bridge of the sea, and they're trying to get the shields up. Garrett is asking, do you really believe? I guess they've told everybody everything. They're full transparency. Garrett knows that they shouldn't be there, and that sending them back would cause them to die. And she's asking Picard, so you really believe this Guinan? And he just says, I learned to trust this wisdom. She and I, we got a thing, and I'm not gonna doubt her. Garrett's like, well, why doesn't your ship just come back with us? But Picard's like, no, we can't do that either, because neither belong in the other's timeline. And honestly, she did say that her crew has expressed a desire to go back and fight because they don't want to live without their loved ones, and they don't like the idea of just being yanked out of time. So they're good with going back.
But she also knows that the Federation needs another ship in the fight right here and now.
Yeah.
And Picard's like, okay, here's something that you probably ought to know. This war is actually going really, really poorly for us. Like worse than the public knows. And we're going to be destroyed. Like the Klingons are going to win.
Yeah.
6 months or so, one 20-year-old busted ass ship isn't going to help those odds. But one ship might have stopped this war before it started. And that's enough for Garrett. So she sends Castillo to inform the crew that they're going back. With that settled, Picard calls to Tasha, time to go, but she asks to hang back and say goodbye to Castillo. And she tries to hype him up, but soon they both realize the truth. Castillo's going back to his death. And although he tells her, if you ever get back to Earth and a man in his late 50s is taking a hard look across a crowded room. Too bad, Richie Rich. Tasha died in season 1.
Yeah. It's interesting because he's going to die.
Yeah.
And she was also going to die, too. And they're about to say goodbye, but just as they're about to say goodbye, they get hit by a bunch of weapons fire. So Tasha takes a dive, and then she's immediately up and starts doing her tactical stuff. Luckily, Picard has made it back to the Enterprise D. So Tasha's kind of stuck over there for now. They go to red alert, and they're getting fired upon, so they call over to the D.
The Klingons focus their attack on the sea while the D attacks the Klingon ship. Unfortunately, in one of the blasts, Captain Garrett is killed, and these looked so hokey to me, and I know it's just because it's 2026 now and we have advanced, but it's like an explosion, sparks, and then she falls out of her chair, and now suddenly she has this big gash on her head and she's dead.
Yeah, this time she's dead.
Oh my God! They've killed
Captain Garrett of the Starship Enterprise.
You bastards!
But luckily, the Klingon vessel recloaked, and then they're gone, and then that's over with. And then Tasha reports to the D that Captain Garrett's dead.
The ship from the past has traveled through time. How can we know what effect those events will have on the present? Indeed, we shall never know for certain if Guinan is correct. But I have decided the consequences of that possibility are too grave to ignore. Dismissed.
Sir, if you'd like my opinion.
I think I'm aware of your opinion, Commander. This is a briefing. I'm not seeking your consent.
After the break, Castillo's in the conference room now, pleading his case. He intends to lead the sea back into the rift and finish the job. And Riker is still arguing, but Castillo makes a really good case. Besides, he believes it's what Captain Garrett would want him to do. Unfortunately, Data is getting some unusual instability readings in the time rift, possibly an effect from that battle with the Klingons. No other Klingons on sensors, but they can cloak, so who really knows? Either way, the whole Klingon fleet will know their location now, so for a number of reasons, they'd better move fast. Castillo thinks they can get underway in a few hours, and Picard agrees to give them cover. And then, in the transporter room, Castillo prepares to beam back to the sea, and he and Tasha find themselves saying goodbye yet again. And the sexual tension finally overwhelms this just everybody now, and they share a passionate kiss before he beams away, and we're left with Tasha deep in contemplation for just a beat. She's thinking about something.
Yeah. She heads straight to 10 forward to talk to Guinan. She wants to know what happens to her in the other timeline. Because she's like, if somebody's looking at you funny, you got to know. You got to know. She's like, there's something you see when you look at me, and I can tell because we've known each other too long. And Guinan's like, you know what? We don't know each other. we weren't meant to know each other at all. That at least that's what she senses when she looks at Tasha, is because she's not supposed to be here. And that's when she tells him, she died a death without purpose in a freak accident. And they leave it at that. And then they switch to the ready room.
I really like that moment because there's some deep, double entendre stuck in here, because this is true. This empty death without a purpose is true of both her character and true for the actor who was effectively pushed away by the old boys club that ran the place in the early days.
Yeah. Yeah. And it echoes how all the fans felt. Like how could you? No, you killed Tasha, and we were all upset.
Yeah. Imagine a future where Denise Crosby stayed on the show and
it was
all the way through 7,
still would have been badass.
Yeah.
But then there's a butterfly effect. Someone else would not have had their moment.
Well, what do we do with Worf, right? Because he becomes the chief of security and becomes a prominent main player, which would have been Tasha if she had still been there.
The whole Klingon story of him. Yeah. There's a cause and effect of every little decision.
Mm-hmm. So then Tasha goes to Picard's office to request a transfer to the sea, and Picard's like, oh, fuck, what did Guinan say to you?
You've been talking to Guinan, haven't you?
Uh-huh. So she tells him, and Picard's like, this is crazy talk, But Tasha is insistent. Besides, if she died a meaningless death in the other reality, she doesn't want that to happen to her here. Maybe she can help them change history. And in the end, Picard grants her request. But he does that thing, and we've seen this before, where he says lieutenant, as if he's about to say no, and then he says yes.
Yeah. And Tasha had a great point, because now Captain Garrett's dead. She wasn't supposed to die over here, and she was supposed to die back over there. So it's just logical that she would basically go and take the place and help.
So Castile is on the sea throwing orders around, getting ready to go back to the past when Tasha arrives and reports for duty. And he is not thrilled with this idea at first, but she kind of talks him into it.
Yeah. It's like, you need me. Show me somebody on your crew who can do a better job than me. And there is not one. So he says, welcome aboard and take your station.
We keep saying goodbye, don't we?
I wish we had more time.
More time. I think we have all the time we can handle, as it is.
We get another great, we haven't talked about this at all yet. We get another great shot of the two Enterprises against the backdrop of the anus as Picard records another military log. I love it. I love seeing the old C, like seeing them on screen together.
Yeah, and slightly different. Of course, the D is higher than and bigger.
In a protective sort of, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Klingon battle cruisers are on an intercept course, and on the bridge, Wes reports 3 Cavort-class Klingon battle cruisers inbound. Picard notifies the crew on the Tannoy that they're going to have to stay here and protect the sea. And Picard's line here is one of those lines that really fuck up my brain, because I would swear to you that we've heard this line somewhere else, but I looked and sure couldn't find it anywhere else.
Where?
Picard says, "Let's make sure history never forgets the name ... Enterprise." And I thought for sure we had heard that somewhere else or hear it again later or something, but that was just all in my head.
Maybe you're thinking of another show. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's all in my head. It's funny how the brain works. Or doesn't.
So the battle begins. They start firing. The D is taking fire, but the shields are holding. And then Picard tells Wesley to go and basically maneuver sort of in front of between the Klingons and the sea.
What I found interesting in this was and this is all post-production special effects decisions, but it seemed like the Klingons were just throwing the kitchen sink at the D, and the D maybe shot once. Like there was no urgency to fire back. They were just like, until one of the Klingon ships peels off and goes after the sea.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise it was like, there's no urgency here. We're just, let them hit us a few times. It's okay.
There was completely a defensive. Yeah.
So then they put themselves between the Klingons and the sea, and they're able to take out one of the Klingon ships mighty easily. Again, like, really?
Yeah.
The Klingons are winning the war, and yet the Enterprise can just go pew, 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 and it's exploded? What?
Hey.
Whatever. Geordi calls up with a bunch of bad news while the D just keeps getting pounded. Hey-o. Then the antimatter containment fields go down, and there's a coolant leak, and Geordi gives them 2 minutes to warp core breach.
They've got a coolant leak in the engine. He's evacuating everyone, and it's shit's about to blow. Back on the D bridge, they've got 52 seconds before the C enters the rift.
Another explosion on the bridge, another hokey-ass explosion on the bridge, and now Riker gets killed.
Oh my god! They've killed
Commander William Riker.
you bastards!
Yeah, so the way it happens is explosion, someone goes flying, and then they're dead.
They're
Just
dead.
the same way as Garrett got killed.
Yeah. Yeah, and the what's it called? Like the shrapnel, the explosion, like it's like chunks of, it's probably like foam, you know.
Of course.
Little foam pieces or whatever, but it's like, where the fuck did that come? Was that, It looked like little rocks or something. Very, very confusing. Anyway.
Why are we nitpicking?
So the Klingons are on the phone now, and they're like,
why you always calling us when you got your troubles?
I want to do a couple jokes for our friends across the pond. Klingons are on the phone demanding the D heave to and prepare to be boarded, and Picard's like, not on your Nelly.
Not on your Nelly. You gotta say it in a Yorkshire accent.
When the 12th of never comes. On Tibbs Eve. When 2 Sundays come together. My British is bad. I'm like, so when I worked at Disney, I worked with a lot of people from all over the world, and I would do my British accent, and they're like, that's like 4 regions smashed together, Sarah. That's bad. That's really bad.
There's like Yorkshire, Birmingham, Cockney, Geordie, Liverpool. Yeah. When the Klingons call and they say, be prepared to surrender and be boarded, Picard like, fuck you. And he jumps over the thing.
The horseshoe,
Take over tactical. And that is, I think, well, do we want, I don't want to say that.
Podcast magic. We'll find out. that has something to do with it.
Yeah. We think that has something to do with it, but yeah.
So Picard leaps over the horseshoe, like you said. That's got to be part of it. I don't know. And then the two remaining Klingon ships close in, and we get a shot of Picard focusing very hard at tactical, smashing buttons, with these flames in the foreground of the screen, which reminded me a lot of remember the flashbacks that happened when the Ferengi brought the old Stargazer back and Picard kept having those visions?
Yeah.
Remember? Remember?
You remember?
I remember.
You remember? Yeah. Next thing you know, swoosh. We're back on the bridge. The lights go up and everything is all bright and happy. We're back at where they were at the beginning of the episode, where they detected something. And then Worf says, readings fluctuated momentarily, but it appeared to be a ship, but now it's gone. And the phenomenon is closing in on itself.
So they're just going to leave a probe behind and off to the next adventure, I guess. But then Guinan calls up to the bridge and they're all like, Guinan, she never calls the bridge. What?
What the fuck?
And she's like, everything okay up there? And Picard's like, all fine here. Should there be something wrong? And we cut to Guinan in 10 forward, back in purple. In her maroon dress now. And she smiles and she says, nah, everything's all right again.
And this time she's talking to Geordi because I guess Worf had gotten up and left at the beginning. But this time she's talking to Geordi.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Great point. I didn't notice that. Now Worf is on the bridge reading the ship. Oh, damn.
And this time, And what does she say to Geordi?
I love this so much. She sits down with Geordi and she says, tell me about Tasha Yar. Aww. Oh, I love that.
I do too. Thank you, writers.
Yeah. Yes.
Thank you.
Play the Humanist Trek intro thing, and then we talk about how I love that this gives Tasha a much better send-off than she got the first time around.
Faux show.
Boy, I'm sure glad that's over with.
I'd be glad to be relieved of this cargo.
Me too.
It is done, and perhaps just as well.
Yeah, but I learned something today.
I sincerely hope that this is the last time that I find myself here.
You just don't get it, do you, Jean-Luc? You see, of all the species, yours cannot abide stagnation. Change is at the heart of what you are. That is the exploration that awaits you. Not mapping stars, studying nebula, but charting the unknown possibilities of existence.
This was such a great episode for her.
Yeah. It's like recognizing they did her dirty and they give her a second chance to have a good death. In Klingon fashion, she died well. And they realized just how amazing and important she was, the actor that played her was. And I'm just like, thank you.
And the idea that she wanted her life and death to be meaningful.
Yeah.
Being the driver for her to like go to the sea and go back in time and be part of that moment of history. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
Otherwise, here's another fun, timey-wimey space story that is entertaining enough to keep me from thinking about that question I always ask at the end of the episode. Because aside from Guinan being able to sense things that happened, everything else that happened in this episode never happened.
Right.
It's completely forgotten by all who appeared in it, with maybe some Guinan.
But Guinan would know. I think she knows.
Right.
She knows.
So who grew? Who changed? How did this move our characters or our story forward in any way? And that's the question that when I watch it as a fan, when I'm watching it just to watch it for the entertainment value, I love this episode. I love it.
Maybe it wasn't to move the characters. Maybe it was to move us. Like the people watching it, realizing that like we said at the beginning of the episode, every single decision, everything that happens in your life, it's like it creates another decision path, or possibly a different reality or a different future for you.
Yeah. Yes. And everyone around you.
And everyone around you. Every little everything affects everything. And it's hard to know. It's hard to predict how the decision you make today or the little thing that you do, seemingly little, is going to affect the future. But I feel like you have to like think things through before you do anything.
Yeah.
And then the other percentage of things that like you have no control over. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You have
right.
absolutely no control over. Like the stuff that's happening right now, it's gonna affect the future.
Yes.
Long after that orange asshole's gone. It's already started. And I think some of the things that it's gonna affect is us and our freedoms and
Oh yeah.
like, this war is now started in another country, but I think it's going to have a profound effect on the people here. And shit's going to get locked down, I think.
Yeah.
Freedom of speech and
I
mean, I think there's already a law in Florida for surveillance, and that was just passed not too long ago, that's going to allow the government to look for people who are speaking out, and somehow you're going to pay for that somehow.
Yeah, a dark timeline is ahead of us.
I think
for sure.
so. I think so.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe the shift wasn't for the characters, but it was for us. I don't know.
Yeah. I like that. No, that's a good take. And I love how we help each other see these things.
Yeah, because I mean
that's what I get out of this. I love this so much because like I came away with it like, yeah, it was a fun episode, but whatever. And then you bring it back for me, and
and
so good.
You do the same for me. This is why we
it's so good. This is why it works.
This is why it works. And
yeah.
Yeah.
Remember when we could have had Bernie? Remember?
Bernie? Oh yeah. Yeah.
So close. And yet.
God damn it.
But remember when we could have had Hillary?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Damn it.
Remember?
Remember when we could have had Kamala?
Yeah.
God damn it.
We had so many opportunities to fix the timeline. So I think the timeline, we have to like pinpoint where the timeline went wrong. Because I've said this to other people. I think we're living in a timeline that we shouldn't be in. Like, and when did it go wrong? I don't know.
I have been saying this for a long, long time. When the first election of the Orange Turd, I started making jokes about how we need to get ourselves a DeLorean and go back to the moment when Biff Trump got his hands on the Gray Sports Almanac and started taking it. Because you remember in Back to the Future 2, where you were in that alternate future where Biff Tannen was like the king, and he had like this giant tower with his name on it, and he was this evil, like dictatorial character.
They were fucking telling the future. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah.
So I'm telling you, some point Trump got his hands on an almanac.
Yeah.
And we just got to go back and get it from him.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's just
it boggles my mind, and sometimes I just like I have to like turn the TV on and distract myself, because I will go nuts and I will be very upset and depressed.
Agreed.
Yeah.
My daughter and I are just now starting season 3 of Stranger Things. We're finally like starting to get caught up.
Nice.
So that has been a nice distraction.
You're almost
We're in
where
5
I
now.
am.
The
Oh,
end
you
one.
are?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Because I stopped in 3.
Okay.
Because I started again like a month or so ago.
Okay.
Because I stopped. I just stopped watching it, and so I started like towards the end of season 3. So I think that's where I am now.
Cool.
And anyway.
Yep. And we've been distracting ourselves with roller skating.
Oh,
we went
yeah.
and did that yesterday too. That was fun.
Cool.
Yeah. Did anybody die in this episode, Allie?
Sort of, yes. And
See, you had the space anus was open for you to take an exit and say, well, not really. And not do a rap.
And I thought about that. I'm like, oh, did they really die? But they didn't. But then they did again. So they did die again, but they should have already been dead. But then I did want to just give a shout out to our wonderful Tasha Yar. So I wrote a rhyme about it.
Yeah.
You want to hear it?
Yes.
Here it goes.
We're here together to honor our friend and comrade. We will all find time to grieve for her in the days that are ahead. But for now, she has asked that we celebrate her life with this.
Yesterday's Enterprise. Yesterday's Enterprise. I said it before, and so I'll say it again. Time travel episodes fuck with my brain. The Enterprise C is where they ain't supposed to be, cause they should have been destroyed at Narendra 3. 22 years, 3 months, and 4 days ago. Something's really wrong and only Guinan knows. But when she sees Tasha, it becomes real clear. She's supposed to be dead. She ain't supposed to be here. But Tasha's out of place and the C is out of time. She's truly a badass in any timeline. So she transferred to the C so they could complete the mission. I want to thank the writers for Tasha's redemption. Rest in peace, Enterprise C. Rest in peace, Tasha Yar. Again.
Rest in peace.
We can handle all the pleasantries later. Now, let's get down to business.
I am willing to pay handsomely for you. I think you've had a little too much to drink.
Now, what do you know about my money?
Your money?
The money he stole!
You stole his money?
Those vouchers I gave you were every bit as good as Latinum.
You can spend Latinum almost anywhere. Those vouchers are only good at your bar.
All right, then, as always, we want to thank everyone who supports the show. We especially want to thank our founding admirals at patreon.com/humanisttrek. A special thank you to Allie, Peter, Sarah D, Bruce, the Bear and Curd podcast, and some call him Tim.
Thanks, patrons.
Thank you so much, patrons.
Captain, Starfleet Academy is requesting an update on our estimated arrival.
Finalists, please take your seats.
I must admit you have a very fast mind.
Once I realized it was a trick question, there was only one answer.
Although only one student will be chosen for the Academy, any of you could easily qualify. Candidates, good luck.
You got called to the superintendent's office. It's a story I'd like to hear.
Becca's back now with the answer to this week's Starfleet Academy Cadet Challenge question for yesterday's Enterprise. We'll once again remind everyone the question.
It has often been speculated that the captain's chair on the bridge of the alternate universe Enterprise D was raised to give the captain a more authoritative, almost regal position. But what was the real reason for this change?
Now, we will have talked about this in the episode by the time we get to here. I think it was just not a regal position. I don't like the framing of this question. I take issue, Your Honor, objection. I take issue with the framing of this question.
This was, the question just stated what the speculation was.
It was supposed to give it a more military look. I don't know why I'm answering now. What was our answers?
Yeah, right?
I think I know what the answer is now.
Sarah guessed height differences between Riker and Picard, since Riker was the alternate universe captain.
Nope, wrong.
Nope. And Allie also said different chair, different captain.
Yeah, wrong.
Okay.
Yep, it was because the timeline changed, so it was more war-ish.
Wrong.
Oh, fuck. What?
That's what I read.
That was the speculation.
I had an opportunity to show the captain my superior capabilities, and I failed. I can never recover from that.
The producers have confirmed that the chair was elevated to accommodate Picard's leap over the tactical station during Enterprise's battle against the Klingons.
I want this. Send me your source.
Oh my God.
Are you questioning the question lady?
I am.
Wow.
How dare
the abuse
you.
that I take for this very unpaid position.
Well, it doesn't matter. We got it wrong. And
let the record reflect.
Shit.
Nobody gets a point.
All right. Next time on Humanist Trek, we'll be reviewing Star Trek The Next Generation, Season 3, Episode 16, The Offspring. Data becomes a father when he creates an android using a transfer of his own neural programming. Oh, I remember this episode.
Yeah. I mean, it was with Lal, his child. Yeah.
Yeah. Data creates a child. Spoiler alert, it doesn't make it. So there's some parenting, there's some grief and loss.
Yeah.
But one thing I can't wait to talk with you about is the way that they wrote it in so that Data allowed his child to choose its own gender, which is like unheard of in the 90s, like such a forward-thinking idea. I loved that.
Yep.
All right. Anyway, what's our question for The Offspring?
Riker appears in only one short scene during this episode. Why is that?
So he'd get his residual check. That's usually the industry answer, right? He's got to be in a scene to get residuals.
Maybe he was just off doing some other project and they just threw him in like some reused footage or something.
Well, we're probably wrong, but you know who might know? Allie, open hailing frequencies and let's get Leonard Crowfoot on the horn. He was in that episode. Leonard, welcome back. How the heck are you?
Thank you. Good to see you.
Okay, listen, we're using our phone a friend here. We need your help.
Yeah. Our lifeline.
You were in this episode, The Offspring.
Yes.
Do you know why was Johnny Frakes only in one scene for a hot minute?
I can't even remember he was in Where was he? Wait a minute.
Oh man!
Many times I was in the waiting room, so I wasn't on set. But I've seen the episode, of course, but I don't remember seeing him in it.
Your phone a friend sure failed.
Yeah, that didn't work out very well for it. Well, we'll just have to wait and find out next week. So if you want to take a guess, head out to your socials, share this episode using the hashtag Starfleet Challenge, and give us your answer, and we'll pick a winner. And next time, we'll talk about Star Trek The Next Generation, Season 3, Episode 16, The Offspring.
Glory to your house.
Bye-bye.
Humanist Trek is available wherever you replicate your podcast. Follow us on all the social medias at Humanist Trek. Become a patron at patreon.com/Humanist Trek. Open hailing frequencies to podcast@humanisttrek.com and visit our website, humanisttrek.com. Humanist Trek is a production of Sarah Austin Media.